Come on in the house. Come on in the house. I don't know if you guys can. Yes, come on in the house. It's me, Earl Jones, the host of The Earl Jones Show. And I am coming to you, one, to just let you know that I'm still alive. That's number one. Number two, you know the routine. Come on, let you guys get a few seconds to come on in the house. Because we got a lot to do. We got a lot to talk about. Right? So, I want you to click like. I want you to click share. Because I'm responding. Hey, Kristen girl, how are you doing? What's going on with you? It's good to see you. I'm going to wave at you. Waving. All right, so click like, click share, help get the word out. We got some things that we need to talk about. As I was on the phone with my mama and my granddaddy for an hour and 30 minutes today while I walked to FedEx to drop off some documents that had to be shipped out. And so a few things have come up in regards to insurance on the personal level and in my personal life. So let's talk about the personal life. So let me tell you, I just tried to do a minute worth of push-ups, baby. I am out of shape. This shelter in place stuff, holy smack a turtle, right? Yeah. So anybody got some workout routines, send them my way. Send them to me over, right? Or I need to figure out another way to work out at home because I should be able to do push-ups for at least a minute. I mean, hello, I'm not that old, right? I'm still alive, still 6 feet above ground. That's number one, right? Number two, I don't know about you all, but this shelter in place stuff, woo, it's really starting to get to you, right? That's number two. So send me some videos, keep posting videos, keep doing that crazy stuff that y'all do on Facebook because it makes me, keeps me going. But back home to my people in St. Louis, I love you, I miss you, I think about you all the time. Chris Taylor, Chris Bell, Carolyn Alper, Lisa Burgess, and oh my God, my sister, T. Michelle, my brother, Dion Jones, all the folks. Ronald, what's going on? How are you doing? Hey, so now let's get on to the business side. So let's talk about insurance because I've had some people ask me, what should they do with their personal insurance, right? So tag, like, click, share, the whole 9 yards. All right. Number one, even though we are doing shelter in place, people, and you may not be driving much, most states have, mileage restrictions, or the mileage is rated based upon a whole year, not 6 months, right? So there may not be anything that you can do about your miles that you are driving or not driving now. The best thing to do for your auto insurance, right, if you're concerned about trying to find ways to cut costs, is to increase your deductible to a minimum of $1,000 or higher, right? Because you just need to drop the amount of the payment, right? But don't do it trying to play with your miles, right? Let me tell you the reason why. Because at number one, if you take the car in for service, your miles are recorded. Some of those dealerships or service places are part of a national program that reports people miles. So they're going to find out about your correct mileage. So don't do that. Number two, you may be setting yourself up for failure if you're trying to adjust your miles in the middle of your policy period. Again, some states don't allow that. And when you try to do that, you could trigger something on your insurance company side, and it just is not worth it. It is not worth it at all. And then number three, technically speaking, it can be considered insurance fraud because you're just, you're saying at one point you said I drive 10,000 miles. Now all of a sudden you're driving 5,000 miles. Come on, it raises a lot of questions, right? So simplest thing to do is raise your deductible, right? If you are over 55 and plus, check with your state, check with your insurance agent, look at doing the 55 and plus defensive driving course, right? Some states it allows a discount from 5 to 10%. It's typically good for 1 to 3 years. Costs anywhere between $20 to $40, depending on what state you're in. That's another way to help you guys get discounts on the auto, right? The insurance. If you have your homeowners separate from your auto insurance, look at combining those so that you can maximize the savings and maximize the discounts, right? And on the auto insurance side, let's see what I was going to say. Oh, if you're living with somebody and you're on separate policies, you might want to consider combining the two so that you guys get multi-card discounts. But whatever you do, just, don't let it go. Reason why I say don't let it go is because in the event that you are going to the doctor's office or to the grocery store, you are in an accident, the first place that somebody's going to look to get some money to fix or deal with their financial situation is to file a claim against you, right? We're not talking about a claim just on to get their car fixed. We're talking about a bodily injury claim in order to try to get additional funds out of that accident. And just because you think it won't happen, trust me, it happens. I could tell you guys some stories about, she might not be watching, but I know of when back in day in 2018, 2019, 2020, it happens all the time. Hey, Rob, or hey, Chris Mahana, how are you doing? How is BAMS treating you? Tell the team if you're still with, Tony, I said hello. So that's number one. And then the other thing, too, is that, they also asked me what can they do about their homeowners insurance. And I was like, the only way that you can reduce your coverage on homeowners is basically two things. Drop the replacement cost value of your policy, right? So if your company currently has you, let's say, $300,000 to rebuild your house from the ground up, you can request to drop that. But just know that if you request to drop it, they're going to ask you to put it in writing and to sign it, because in the event of a fire, that's all you will get, whatever it is that you request to drop. But I don't recommend that you do that. What I recommend is that you just simply increase your deductible. What a lot of people don't know is that the insurance companies, we know the sweet spot, to generate, the cash, right? And we also know that people that pay a higher deductible also pay lower premiums. So I typically recommend that people increase their deductible on their homeowners to $5,000. Why? Because most of the stuff that you have around the house that happens is typically less than $5,000, and you should just simply pay that. I know of people right now that are paying $800+ more because of claims that were filed for less than $5,000 total, right? So just bump your deductible on your homeowners for $5,000 if it's not already there. That will reduce your premium on your homeowners insurance. If you need it to go down lower, just bump it up to $10,000. Just play with the deductible until we get back to normal. But do not reduce the amount of coverage that you have on your home, because in the event of a fire, whatever those numbers are in that policy, that's all you get. So if you originally had $300,000 to rebuild your home, right, and you drop it down to $150,000, a fire breaks out, all you are getting is $150,000 plus whatever little extra they throw in, whether it be 10 or 25 or 50%. So there will not be enough money there for you to rebuild your house if you do that. Hey, Steve, how are you? The other thing that you guys can do when it comes to your insurance is also just make sure that you pick up that phone, you call your agent, and make sure that you are getting your discounts. I've seen people let the discounts, even though it's shelter in place, your kids are still getting their grades. So make sure that your insurance, if your teenagers are driving and they have that 3.0, make sure your agent gets that good student discount, the report card that shows, so you can keep that good student discount going. Also, again, I can't stress this enough, but if you're over 55, look and see if your company participates in that 55 and plus defensive driving program. Most insurance companies do, so do that. But I do not recommend that you guys try to play with your mileage and your coverages simply because we are in a pandemic. And if there's an accident happening, you can rest assured the first place that people are going to look for is to try to get some extra money is by suing you. So you want the insurance company to take the brunt and the hit of that, not your personal pocketbook. All right. And then the last thing, hey, let's see, one editing, I've run into this, the image vertical versus horizontal. So frustrating. I know. Thank you, Steve. I know. I'm trying to learn this because normally I would just shoot the video and then post it. But somebody said, go live so that people can see your face. I'm like, well, they can see my face when they see me online, right? Thank you. We'll figure that out. And then the last thing that I really want to say to you guys is this when it comes to insurance. I don't have a problem with answering your questions about insurance because it's almost universal pretty much through all 50 states, almost. But the other thing that I have to say about this is that now, if you've been holding back on getting life insurance, if you've been thinking about getting life insurance, right, now is the time to get life insurance. I'm not talking about that stuff you buy at work. I'm talking about your own personal life insurance. I don't care where you get it from, but now is the time to get life insurance. Look, we are in an unprecedented, unsettling time. If you can get a $25 or $10 or a $40 a month policy, go get it. Some insurance companies are waiving underwriting guidelines, for under a certain dollar amount at certain age. I've seen up to as high as 50 years old and under $1 million, right? Some companies are, I don't know. You have to check it out. Let me just be clear with you. If the pandemic goes to where they think it's going to go, look, you want to make sure that you got your stuff in place, right? And, so, because let's be honest, we still don't understand how this virus is spread. We still don't understand, what's the ramification and what's going on. The last thing any of us need right now is to be caught with our pants down and find ourselves in a situation to where we have to bury a loved one and there's no money there. Hey Randy, hey Yama, it's good to see you. Ken, Katie, how are you? It's good to see you guys. Thanks for joining. Marie, it's good to see you. Richard, what's up? So it's important to get life insurance. I'm not encouraging you to go out and spend all your money, right? But I am encouraging you to really take this serious. I have my life insurance policy. I got one on my nephew. I sure do. I do. Just because we're just in uncharted, unprecedented waters. And the more that you can move the risk over to the insurance company, I think the better off financially you will be. I just can't stress it enough. And I'm going to say this. Get it also on your children, because my grandfather was telling me that a 2-month-old baby died from the coronavirus. Get life insurance on your kids while the getting is good, baby. Because children are they're super cheap, they're easy to insure. As long as they are in good health, the whole 9 yards, you probably don't even have to go through an underwriting process, right? You just simply call your insurance agent and say, hey, I need life insurance on my kid. Get family protected. Why? Because we just honestly don't know. We honestly don't know. So it's better to be prepared now than it is to find yourself in a situation to where something happens and you don't have resources in place, or you aren't expecting that instant thing to happen, right? It's bad enough that this freaking virus has caught a lot of us financially unprepared. Let's be blunt. I'm just going to be absolutely freaking blunt. And this little $1,200 check that's coming, bless America, right? But in the reality of the situation, people, let's just, I know that this is rough. I know it's tough, and we can get through this. Now, enough about the whole insurance thing. Now, to finish this up, let me just say this. I went for a walk this morning for 1 hour and 30 minutes while I was on the phone with my mama and my granddaddy. And child, let me tell you, it felt so good to burn 434 calories. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. And then I came back and I was like, I'm going to do some sit-ups. Do you know I was out of breath? let me tell you, I cannot wait for this to be over because my diet is off. All of it's off. And I know I'm not the only one, right? But I'm just going to admit it and put it out there and just, Randy, what's going on? And just tell y'all, I done got a little chubby. Can you see that? I can pinch my cheeks. I can see my grandmother now pinching my cheeks going, baby, you need some okra. Yes. All right. If you have comments, you have questions, let me know. Feel free to leave a comment. But more importantly, just remember, people, in this pandemic that we are in, the way that you can control some of your insurance costs is by simply raising your deductibles, bundling, right? And then also look at getting your own life insurance through, whatever company you're with, Farmers, State Farm, Allstate, whoever, get it. As a matter of fact, if you get it through the company that has your auto and your home insurance, you might get another discount on top of all your discounts, right? But just do that. And with that being said, bye. And Steve, I will figure out a way to do this thing so that it's, whatever it needs to be. Bye.